Nigeria's National Security Council meeting ends with assurances that the threat to lives and property posed by daredevil outlaws will soon be a thing of the past. The outlaws, however, continue to engage the nation's security forces in a show of defiance. Security experts and ex-military men say the Nigerian army has the expertise and weaponry to obliterate the threat. Conducting elections in areas where conflicts still rage may be a challenge for the election management body, but there are tips from those who have seen it all. On the political scene, parties woo new members with more political relevance on their platforms as the rush for PVC increases with the deadline day here. I'm Fisai Ogunfui. Welcome. The resumed meeting of the National Security Council has ended with a firm assurance to Nigerians that there will no longer be a hiding place for any criminal gang to threaten lives and property, as well as the stability and corporate existence of Nigeria. The National Security Advisor, Babagana Munguno, who briefed journalists after the meeting, promised a drastic change in approach and momentum on the side of Nigeria's security forces.
Top echelon of the nation's armed forces and other security services arrive in the State House for the National Security Council meeting. President Muhammadu Buhari summoned the meeting, the third in 2 weeks, out of genuine concern over the resurgence of attacks by criminal elements in parts of the country. The president is particularly worried over the reported harrowing experiences of Nigerians still in captivity, the way and manner Kuje Custodial Center was attacked, the recent killing of soldiers in Buhari area of the FCT, as well as the constant threat to lives, property, and stability of the country. He told the security chiefs behind closed doors that enough is enough. Discussions therefore centered on what can be done urgently and decisively towards finding lasting solutions, as explained by the National Security Advisor, Babagana Munguno.
Members of the armed forces have made a commitment that they've already started working on a new strategy to deal with these snippets of violence. And they've given their word, their commitment to the president that in the coming weeks, there will be a change in momentum. They've understood the enormity of the responsibilities that they have. Again, Council is in the process of winding up the special investigative panel on the Kuje incident. And the idea is to come up with recommendations, hold those who are supposed to be held accountable for their deeds, and to ensure that this type of thing never, ever, ever happens again in this country.
The National Security Council, however, made it clear that to achieve the desired objectives, Nigerians must volunteer credible information on the criminal gangs and their collaborators. The media, the council also insists, must similarly exhibit high sense of responsibility and patriotism while reporting acts of crime and criminality.
So council is urging the media to be very careful in whatever it reports. Whatever gets out to the public space can have a debilitating effect on the population. Equally, the political elite is also urged to take into account the consequences of utterances, especially from people who have established a reputation, people who are considered leaders of thought, people who are considered to have some kind of influence in society. Whatever goes out may be harmful, not just to the government, if that is the intention, which I doubt, but at the end of the day, it will affect the wider society.
Maintaining national security and stability, the NSA maintains, should not be left to the security agents alone, but the whole of society and indeed the whole of nation must partake in the onerous enterprise. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And after the security meeting, daredevil outlaws attacked a military checkpoint around Zumarok, close to Madala town, just a short distance to Abuja, on Thursday. We will join Major Gabriel Adofuku, retired. In the course of this program, once he's ready, I will be joining him via Zoom. He is the former Secretary General of the Retired Army, Navy, and Air Force Officers Association, RANAO. But moving on now, with the security threats in some parts of the country, many are worried about the ability of the election management body, INEC, to conduct elections in such territories. Chief Whip of the Federal House of Representatives, Mohammed Tahir Mungunu, who is from Borno State, has some tips.
Well, it was in the heat of the Boko Haram insurgency, in the peak of the Boko Haram insurgency, that the election management body succeeded in conducting elections in Borno and other northeastern states that were afflicted by the insurgency at that period in time. What the election management body did was, because of the insurgency, there is massive displacement of people from the ancestral homes. Most of them are either living in the host communities or are living in the IDP camps. So what the election management body did was to establish their polling units within the IDP camps that the displaced people were residing, so that they can vote in the IDP camps as if they are voting in their respective villages. And those that are living in the host communities will come to the IDP camp because of the security of its because it is secure, to come and vote, identify their polling unit or polling booth within the IDP camps and vote there. So that is what the election management agency succeeded in doing, and guaranteeing free, fair, and transparent election in a conflict infested regions or communities. So I think the election management agency can also do the same in areas that were recently afflicted by banditry and what have you, and their people are now massively displaced and are staying in either IDP camps or host communities. Again, what the election management agency did was to deploy massive security to secure areas where these votings, where these elections are taking place. Governance is a continuum, and as such, there should be no vacuum in governance. Otherwise, it's an invitation to chaos and anarchy. As a result of that realization, the National Assembly, and indeed the Ninth House of Representatives, is on its thoughts, discharging its constitutional responsibility, whether elections are fast approaching or not. But the beauty of the 2023 election is that there's enough time between emergence of candidates that usually leads to politicking and the general election itself. So it is not that cramped up to make people run helter-skelter all over the place and then forgetting about their primary responsibility of delivering good governance, peace and security to Nigerians that gave us the mandate to represent them.
Stakeholders and members of the All Progressive Congress say they are developing new strategies that will add value to the pre-election processes of the party and promote harmony as the 2023 general elections draw closer.
Which would then be presented
about 2 months to the commencement of political campaigns ahead of 2023 general elections. Candidates and their supporters are not taking chances in the task of mobilizing key actors. Drawn from different walks of life, these supporters of the APC express the resolve to mobilize and add value to the party's agenda ahead of the 2023 general elections and beyond.
This organization is hoping within the next 1 month to start an experimental digital skills training for our youth who have been forced to remain at home doing nothing over the past 5 months.
This underscores the fact that there's a lot of work to be done and we have to work very quickly. And all of us here, whether in this body, the think tank or not, must brace ourselves up to face the task ahead to ensure our victory come 2023.
The support group has pledged to come up with a working plan that will rebrand its campaign activities.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the All Progressives Congress has engaged women to stimulate their participation in the 2023 general elections.
As the nation's democracy evolves, so is the participation of women in the democratic processes. The engagement between the women leaders of the party is to ensure they are fully involved in the pre-election processes.
See, this election where we enter a scientific election. In the year so, 1 + 1 equal to 80. Your PDC, that one I am bold, no lamb. They carry my own like baby the waka.
He has come to stay in Nigeria, and we must be part of that. It's always good to be part of success than be part of success after success.
They promise to sustain this gesture.
Also, from the other part of the fence, members of the People's Democratic Party caucus in the House of Representatives say they remain committed to the nation's democratic ideals. This was during a meeting with a special assistant of the Deputy Senate President who resigned from his membership of the All Progressives Congress.
The minority leader of the House of Representatives, Nduje Lumelu, led the PDP delegation to Buala's office in Abuja. The reason for the visit is not far-fetched.
This is the first time that a parliament will deem it fit to recognize a Nigerian and so decide to come and see that personality. So we have come to tell you to join PDP.
You cannot see what is happening in the country and not tell yourself if there is any part you can play. I'm very mindful of the problem, and I will reflect on your request.
The PDP caucus members restated their resolve to nation building, emphasizing that the party and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar value Buala's passion for the unity, peace and development of the country and would be pleased to have him join the party.
Still talking about politicking, our guest today is the governorship candidate of the People's Redemption Party, PRP, in Katsina State. He says, away with the old and in with the new.
My convention went the different way, not the normal way. We did a very humble and fair and credible primaries. We had no exchange of dollars, no rancor, no fightings. It was purposeful and determined to bring an option to the people of Katsina State. PRP gave option to the young people. They really courted for young people to come to PRP and to be given the pedestal, the level playing ground to actualize their dreams. Also, the choice was informed due to my principles and direction and guide, also via the movement we've had, the We Together movement, that young people will aspire for positions of leadership. And across board, it was a unanimous decision that we should find a party that will accommodate and give us the opportunity to do to try to give it a shot. The main issue flagging my state is security. Is plaguing almost every nook and cranny of the state, and people are being distorted, internally displaced. We have serious humanitarian crisis. So this is what I am out to see what I can do. I have the training, on security administration, and I want to give it a shot. So first thing, but there are nexus to security. This nexus is you look at education, economy, and social justice. If you miss any one of these three, you will have insecurity. They're intertwined. So this is what we will try to secure, so that we have security. Because no matter the military men, the amount of guns, even the gunboats that will be in areas like my state, will not take that. It will not solve the security problems. So when you attack this problem, it has connotation to economy, to illiteracy, mass illiteracy. It has connotation to social injustice that is in the state. So if you tackle this, you definitely have a secure state. Because once you tackle this, the level of development, even to human capital development, will go up. Once it rises, you will definitely have a tremendous rise in the level of security in the state. So how we do it is we need to first of all have a database of the state, people in the state and around the state. We also have to have the pillars of the communities, which are the traditional institutions, the religious institutions, and community-based associations or organizations, to be functional, to be working properly, and to also collaborate with government in terms of creating a feedback mechanism that could go up to from the bottom up and from top to bottom. So this, if you create this, you can now have an issue, a solution to the large absence of authority that is ungoverned spaces that we have. So when you have this covered, you have the ungoverned spaces taken care of. Then you have to now develop or to build the policing system. We have to do direct intervention through the Katsina State Security Trust Fund that we are going to establish to be able to support the police in their work. And we need to upgrade the police stations on our own in our state to secure our people, to be able to have data, robust database of crimes and criminals in the state. This could help us nib and go directly to find out, to take samples, which we will take to our labs, forensic laboratories that will check crimes at crime scenes. We take samples so that we refer to that database that we are building on security to see culpability or to see linkage between the criminals we have in the database and the crimes being committed. This is a discouragement on its own. Then we'll have to go back also to leverage the technology and the fight of crime, and also in crime prevention. We will seriously have our attention on crime prevention, and this is the latest and modern way of community police or crime fighting in the developing world or in the developed worlds. And this is what we will adopt to stop crimes before they even happen. You see bandits coming with 200 bikes and going to burn, to attack, or to maim, kill, and rape and take people away, but nothing is done. So there is a way that we can leverage technology, that we can ab initio see them, through a remote sensing, that we can see them when they are about to attack, and we could do something that is tangible, that is meaningful to stop such attacks. And once that is done, you'll see tremendous development. We have stopped the attacks. We have now moved up the people to a level that that they are the underdevelopment in every key and sector of the economy could give us a secure environment.
We're still hoping to join Major Gabriel Adofiku, just a word or two on the security situation and how we could go on to conquer the threat to the nation. Major Adofiku joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. Earlier we spoke about, the military checkpoint that was attacked. Just from your, let's first say condolences, of course, to the defense community as a former secretary of the Secretary General of the Retired Army, Navy and Air Force Officers Association right now. But very quickly, because time is not our friend, where do we go from here, and how can we begin to, to change this narrative or this worrisome trend? Go ahead. How do we change this trend, Major? All right, I understand that there's some challenges with the audio there. Let's go to one more story and see if we can re-engage Major Adofiku. The ruling All Progressives Party has been comparing notes with the ruling party in Burundi with a view to ensuring the entrenchment of democratic principles.
Reach out to the ruling parties in Africa and see that we begin to sing the same song.
Indeed, it might be a song by the old and the young democratic nations in the African continent, whose rhythm will be to promote good governance, tackle poverty, and build infrastructure identified as basics for development. National Chairman of APC, Abdullahi Adamu, affirmed that the visit to Nigeria by the National Chairman of Burundi's ruling political party, Reverend Ndikuriyo, is a step in the right direction.
We have one thing which is common to all of us, like I said a while ago: poverty, illiteracy, backwardness, disease. We have a common battle to fight. I want to assure you that the APC, as the party in Nigeria, is addressing those issues.
And our aim is that the partnership between the two parties, ruling parties in both countries, will help the population from the both countries to be able to do business well and to have good cooperation.
Burundi is a constitutional republic with a multi-party system where the president is both head of state and head of government. In the same vein, the women wing of APC National Working Committee is engaging various women groups at a strategic meeting in order to positively transform their numerical strength to voting strength.
Concentrate on the mission and the goal you want to achieve. There is no agent between us and every Nigerian woman.
The women have resolved to harmonize their thoughts to operate as a family.
That's the size of the program today. I'm afraid we couldn't quite reach retired Major Gabriel Adofiku in Jos, and of course we also tried to reach the first PRO, Muyiwa Adejobi, who said that it would also contact us in perhaps our subsequent programs. We'll try to bring this gentleman in as we move towards 2023, and of course we look at efforts to curtail incidences of insecurity, as well as the preparations for the 2023 general elections. My name is Visao Ogunfu, thanking you for staying tuned. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and who continue tuning into the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. And don't forget that this is the political season, so play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.